Hello again. I'm out at Kubota Gardens near Seattle. It's actually near Renton. Beautiful little Japanese garden. You know, I've been seeing a lot of posts from my friends in Asia about the sakura, the cherry blossoms, and it really made me miss Japan. You may know from watching some of my videos that I lived in Japan and China for a while, and I've traveled and worked a lot in Japan. Really miss it, miss my friends there. And so I came to Kubota Gardens to scratch the itch a little bit. So I'm just walking around, enjoying the beautiful park and looking for a place to set up and paint. The potential things to paint are endless. It's a beautiful little park, and it has a really interesting history. The garden designer, Kubota-san, has a long and very respected history here in the Seattle area. He's done a lot of work for local Seattle residents and Bloedel Reserve. This Kubota Garden started as a place for him to showcase his gardening style, especially the use of large, charismatic rocks. And it's been gifted to the city, and it's been well maintained. Beautiful place just to come and wander around. Gets pretty busy on the weekends, but not too bad on the weekdays. It's early spring, it's early April. Beautiful time to visit. Lots of stuff coming into bloom. So the challenge today, I think, will be to find a place to set up and not be in the way, not be in the path, but have enough room and a intriguing enough view that I can do a little oil painting. This is one potential area. Beautiful old white barked tree there. Just starting to leaf out. Beautiful red little leaves. There's also a view of I think a little maple tree down there just coming into leaf. Beautiful yellow and red leaves and some trees in bloom behind. Down that way, a little more of a wide open view with some trees in bloom and some beautiful old conifers. This is kind of interesting this way as well. Got a really sculpted, I think that's a maple, and a charismatic standing stone there. Alright, here's the scene I'm going to paint. I like that little stone bridge in the foreground and the pool behind it. The light as it goes in and out of the clouds is creating some really beautiful effects on the water as well. I'm going to knock out a quick 8x10 oil painting. Park's getting a little bit crowded. I don't want to take up the space too long, so I'll just do something kind of small. I'll start with a turpentine wash like usual. Just want to scrub in the colors I'm seeing in the scene. A lot of burnt sienna and cad yellow, so I think I'll use that primarily. I'll draw the composition in real quick using a small brush and a little bit of burnt sienna, just to sketch the big shapes. I'm going to zoom in kind of tight on that little bridge. I don't want to overdo the small painting. Alright, there's the turpentine wash in very roughly. I really just want to make sure the bridge looks right, like it's sitting correctly in the scene. When I step back and look at it, it looks like right now it's a little wide. I've got that top just a little wide compared to the side. So as I paint the water in, I'll narrow that down a bit. So now I'll start to mix up the colors I see in the scene. I'll start with the background and move forward. And I'll go less saturated, a little more grayed out by adding black or cold gray and becoming richer in color as I move forward. Give it that sense of illusion. Alright, well, sorry you missed that. I got a few questions from a person and forgot to turn the camera back on. So I painted the background and the water pretty much with one pile of dark green. I just added more richer color as I came forward. Now I'll go ahead and mix up a little bit of color for the different bushes I'm seeing in the environment. There's a nice pretty lavender one in the shadow and in the sun, so I'll mix up a version of each of those lavenders. There's a brownish green one that's catching some light, and then I'll mix up the color of the bridge in shadow last. I may add just a little bit of the side where it's in the sun. It's catching some sun now. Someone's playing some nice music in the background. Well, there's the finished painting, a little 8x10. I do like how it came out. It's very loose in the background. And I know you missed it on the video, but the way the green flowed from the background trees into the foreground through that pool of water, that worked out really nicely. Less pre-mixing and more just modifying that one pool, so that's I think a good lesson learned. This is a birch panel. I gesso it myself, and then on this one I put a little thin layer of alkyd on the panel, and I really like that. That gives a very slick surface. You can play a little bit longer with the turpentine wash, really wipe it back to the white of the panel. Had a few nice people come up. Had a little girl come up, and I let her paint a little bit on the panel, which is always fun. Hopefully she got a kick out of it. As always, thanks for joining me. I'll take it back to the studio and touch it up a bit and throw it out on my website.